of any country. In fact, no meaningful development can take place without good road networks linking countries and communities, as well as facilitating the easy movement of people and goods. In the Gambia, the government has made road construction and maintenance a priority of its numerous development projects, and over the years several roads have been constructed throughout the country. Cognizant of the importance of roads, the government in 2003 established the NRA in an Act of Parliament with the objective of constructing and the maintenance of roads. NRA has over the years been actively executing their duty by constructing new roads and ensuring the proper maintenance of existing roads. Well, officials of the NRA were at the National Assembly to submit their audited accounts, activity reports and financial statements to the joint session of the Public Accounts and Public Enterprises Committees of the National Assembly for the year 2012. Tabling his report before lawmakers, the Managing Director of NRA spoke at length, cataloguing the numerous road construction and maintenance projects during the year under review.
The activities of the National Roads Authority mainly involves monitoring and supervision of development and maintenance projects. Key among these is the EU-funded regional road project. All the roads of the project have now been substantially completed, with the exception of Basse-Sabi-Badari-Wellingara link, which is in progress. The section of the Trans-Gambia Highway within the swampy area, which has been preloaded to allow settlement to take its course prior to sealing, is also yet to be completed. However, arrangements have been made to surface this section through an addendum to the Basse-Wellingara contract at the end of the 18-month settlement period.
The report also touched on various issues such as the control of billboards erected by the roadsides and the absolute load limit for trucks. The NRA officials pleading with the deputies to put into law the absolute load limit that will limit trucks to carry nothing above 11.5 tons, which is the ECOWAS standard. The NRA boss concluded his report with the challenges his institution is facing.
The National Roads Authority is mandated to administer and control the national road network. To this end, a number of road development and maintenance projects are being undertaken under the supervision and monitoring of the NRA. This management report aims to outline the key activities of the NRA in its quest to provide a high standard road infrastructure to the Gambian population. The report also highlights efforts aimed at enhancing the capacity of the NRA, as well as key constraints that hinder the achievement of defined aims and objectives of the authority.
The NRA's financial report was also presented to the deputies by the financial director. Having listened to the activity report and financial statements, the lawmakers took turn to commend the NRA officials for a well-articulated report, but notwithstanding some of them demand clarification on certain issues.
What plans do you have what plans do you have to remedy the situation of those property owners that are to be demolished along this Marakisa-Dimbaya road? And finally, the feeder road between Brikama and Kasakunda, if it has been budgeted, and when it's going to be commenced?
NRA still owes the auditor $84,000. There's another $55,129 owed. $2 million owed to Guy Enterprise, $7 million to Copri. Why are they having these outstandings when you have $77 million in your account?
The additional $500,000 in 2011 and $570,000 in 2012, as per the figures, were for 1/6 Tobaski advances paid by Dante of National Treasury. That's why the figures I have given you, these are the differences of that. The road fund released to income for the period, Honorable Speaker, is $46,090,989.
On the billboards and the streetlight adverts, the situation with the perennial defaulters has now been regularized and payments have now been made, although there still remains few of them to fulfill their obligations. The recovery on the bad debts by ex-staff Hadi Kadik Jame, who was owing 5,500.
After nearly 3 hours of deliberations, punctuated with a question and answer session, the NRA officials' deliberation was deemed good enough to be considered and adopted by the people's representative, thus giving the custodians of the country's roads a clean bill of health for their work in 2012. Famarakani, Grts News.
That report by Famarakani takes us to our first break. When we come back, we take a look at news from outside the Gambia. Stay tuned.
3G Network has taken advantage of the super-fast ACE Internet platform to provide unequal internet access speeds to all its clients. Gamcell's 3G network access devices has broadband connectivity appropriate for individual and business use. Connect to the internet using any of Gamcell's 3G modems. The 3G partner, appropriate for individual access for those who require internet connectivity on their laptops at all times. 3G Leisure can be used to create hotspots in restaurants, small businesses, and for family use. It is also designed for those who want to have internet access on the go. 3G Business for small medium enterprises, businesses and corporate institutions, diplomatic missions, and government or non-government agencies. Now you can stream videos, enjoy video chatting, and download content at broadband speeds. Experience the difference with Gamcell, the only mobile broadband service provider in the country. Gamcell, Yai Borom.
Welcome back. With thousands of refugees desperate to reach Europe and willing to cross the Mediterranean in small overloaded boats, it's no wonder so many have lost their lives recently. Hundreds in the last 2 weeks alone, and now Italy has decided to step up its response. CNN's Matthew Chance has that story.
Survivors of the latest migrant shipwreck spotted by Italy's airborne coastal patrols. Pulled from the waves after their overcrowded boat sank far from land. Whole families are among the rescued, but they're the lucky ones. Thousands of migrants attempt to enter Europe by this perilous route every year. In recent weeks, hundreds have died trying, prompting Italy with immediate effect to triple its Mediterranean patrols.
We cannot wait for the Parliament or the European institutions when we are talking about human lives. We have to act immediately when in the middle there are poor women's and children's lives. We must act now.
With so many fleeing war in Africa and the Middle East, willing to risk everything for a better life, Italy is calling for a broader European response. But the recent heavy loss of life, including more than 350 migrants drowned when their boat capsized off the Italian island of Lampedusa, has horrified Europeans. As well as the increase in Italian air and sea patrols, which includes aircraft with night vision capabilities, the Italian media is also reporting that unmanned drones based in Sicily could also be used to identify migrant boats in trouble. The country's foreign minister says the patrols would be to help save migrants' lives, not just to tell them to stay where they are. But in Lampedusa earlier this month, aid workers told me more patrols are not the answer. Instead, cooperation is needed with North African countries like Libya, where migrants often begin their sea journeys.
One thing is certain, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done in terms of creating the right conditions for protection of asylum seekers and refugees in Libya. UNHCR is working in Libya, so we are working together with the authorities there, but still a lot of work needs to be done.
But for some, it's too late. At the cargo port in Sicily, there are so many shipwreck victims, port workers are forced to use a forklift truck to unload coffins 3 at a time. One final indignity for the immigrants who didn't make it. Matthew Chance, CNN London.
And in eastern India, at least 21 people were killed after a powerful cyclone hit over the weekend, but many feared the impact would be far worse. A similar storm in 1999 killed 10,000 people, while this time authorities evacuated close to 1 million people. CNN's Malika Kapoor reports.
1999, a fierce cyclone leaves 10,000 dead. This month, another cyclone pounds Odisha. The death toll is 21. We knew beforehand, we had been warned, this slum resident says. The Ajim family says the local government